What's up guys? Jonny May here, and welcome to this quick tip where I'm going to teach you how to embellish a melody. And you might be thinking, Jonny, what does that mean to embellish a melody? Well, that's basically when you take a melody like Can You Feel the Love Tonight and you make it sound more interesting. Now in this lesson, I'm going to teach you 5 of my favorite embellishment techniques. They're super easy and you can play them regardless of your level. And we're going to actually use this tune as a demonstration because you can do a lot with this particular melody. So what I'm going to do is we're going to briefly go over the first part of the melody with the chords, and then I'm going to show you these 5 embellishment techniques. And once again, you can use these on just about any tune. So, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Very simple melody. We're in the key of C major. First chord is C. And then we're going to go to a G major. And then we're going to go to an A minor. Let's bring it up here. And then we're going to go to an F major. Really simple. Okay. And then we have a C major. And then we have an F major. And for this one, I like to put the A on the bottom. Very pretty. And then we have a G sus4 and then a G major. Okay, basic melody, basic chords. How do you embellish this? I'm going to show you that next, but before we do this, if you're liking this lesson, it's feeling good, you're getting some value out of it, please hit the like button. And also be sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. We put out videos every single week to help piano players all across the world take their playing to the next level. So you're not alone. We got a great community here. And let's go ahead and jump in. I want to show you embellishment number 1. This is a sweet embellishment. It is so simple to play. I'll play it for you and then break it down. Beautiful, okay? This is called the slip note embellishment, and it's actually very simple to play. What I'm doing is, on certain notes, I slip up to the note. So, on phrase number 1, we have, notice that on the E, I'm going to grab the D right before it and slip up to the melody note, okay? And you can do this on any note. I just picked the E. You could do it on the D if you want. You could go, that's pretty. You could even do it on the G. Okay? So this becomes a matter of taste. You kind of find the notes that you like. But in this case, I like this kind of pattern where I go slip, slip. Notice I'm doing it on the E twice. And I do it right there on the A, okay? So you can find sort of rhythmic patterns where the slip note works really well. On the next phrase, I go, isn't that beautiful? So pick the slip notes that you want. There's not a right or wrong here. This is a great beginner kind of starting point to embellish your melody. And once again, by embellish, it just means we're just adding some character to the melody. We're coloring it. We're adding some flair. And a good pianist will do this when they're playing. They don't just play the melody as is. They're going to add extra notes. Okay, embellishment number 2 sounds beautiful. Works on lots of tunes. Here's how this one goes. This is a cool one because it has this kind of magical sound. I call these lead-in turns. Lead-in turns. So what's a lead-in turn? Well, a turn is that, or that. These are turns. You turn off a note, you come up and you come down, but I'm leading in with the melody. So I have, so instead of can you feel, I'm going, so I'm coming into the D, I'm leading into the D, can you feel, but I'm turning off the E. Does that make sense? So we're adding turns kind of in between the phrases as a lead-in line. And then same here. On that A, right? A love tonight. I'm gonna lead into the C, right? And then night is the A. Does that make sense? And then on the phrase, check this, or the next phrase, check this out. Okay, beautiful, right? So we have, and then coming into the E, instead of going right into the E, I go, and and I add some extra notes to the melody. So in this case, I'm turning on the E melody note. However, I'm actually moving the E a little early. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm actually coming in a hair early on the E. Give it a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm kind of displacing the melody, and you can do that with this technique. You can move some of the melody notes around so that you can fit in your turn. So again, one of my favorite techniques, a little more challenging than the previous one, but I think it's really useful. If you're a beginner pianist, give it a try. Try it on some other melodies. You'll be surprised how good this sounds. Also, you can mix these techniques. You can go to embellishment number 1. Right? And you can do a turn after that. And that's where it really gets fun, because you can mix and match, and you can really make it your own. You can start to develop your own sound. Okay, let's go to embellishment number 3. This is a cool one. I'm gonna play it for you. This is very reminiscent of John Schmidt from the Piano Guys. He has this really cool, driving, kind of rolling sound. So give it a listen. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Again, very reminiscent of John Schmidt. He really has this cool sound. And so the key behind this technique is to take your chord and to fill in the gaps as much as possible. And so notice what I'm doing is I'm just kind of outlining the melody as the top note, and then I'm always filling in with the chord on the bottom. Are you hearing the melody? Okay, it's that top note, and I'm really trying to punch it so you hear it, but everything underneath that is kind of moving it along. And so, we've got the first chord, C major. That's our first phrase, and you can kind of hear that melody, da, 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 on the top of a C major chord. It's very simple, okay? And then to the G chord. Can you feel you hear that melody on the top? And then you hear the melody, like love tonight, but again. And then to the F chord, right? We kind of land on the A melody, and you have the F chord underneath, okay? Hopefully this is making a little sense. And then on the next phrase, really beautiful. John Schmidt does this a lot. He'll go. So he's playing these really open sounding chords, and he's arpeggiating them. Right? It's just a C major, and I'm bringing it up to accommodate the melody. Da, 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 da. So I have da, 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 right? So this is really cool. Okay, on the F chord, okay, I'm just playing the notes of an F add 2, and then I end on my G sus. Right? Again, it's just a G sus chord. Melody is kind of sustained there in the middle. Okay, so very cool technique. The key here is to keep your melody note on the top, know your chord on the bottom, and then you can do different kind of patterns with your chord. You don't have to play this exact, You could go. Notice how it came down at the beginning of the phrase. Okay, so that is our third embellishment. And before I teach you embellishment number 4, if you want to learn more about embellishing your melodies, you want to learn how to color your melodies and add fills and runs and just make them sound amazing, we teach all of this over at pianowithjonny.com. In fact, if you search the word embellish or embellishment, you will find a bunch of courses where I show you exactly how to do this on different types of tunes, like jazz tunes and blues tunes and pop and contemporary, lots of different styles. So check that out if you want to go, if you're serious about the piano. But again, I want to give you some high-level tools that you can start using right away in your own playing. Embellishment number 4 is the magical triplet technique. Guys, this sounds so cool. Give it a listen. Oh, doesn't that sound magical? Those triplets, they have this just kind of sparkly sound. One of my favorite techniques in the book. Okay, you want to learn this one? Again, it's not as hard as it sounds if you learn the underlying technique. So here's what I'm doing. I'm taking my melody and I'm just putting a chord underneath it. It's not a C major chord, okay? It is a C sus2, or you could think of it as a C add 2. It's like a C major chord, but we use the 2 instead, and it makes it a lot more magical. So that's kind of the chord shape. And then I come down with triplets. See that? Does that make sense? So triplet, 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 but they're kind of fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the A, 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? And by the way, I did write out the notation a little differently on embellishments 3 through 5 because they go a little bit faster. So we kind of changed it. We stretched out the notes a little bit so it's easier to read, okay? So once again, on the C, the magical triplet. Okay, and then to the A major or A minor magical triplet. Same thing, it's an A minor with the add 2, beautiful note. A lot of color. Now for the next chord, the C chord, we're gonna bring it way down low. Okay, so it's way down here. Okay, and by the way, the rhythm can trick up a lot of students. 1, 2, right? That's how the left hand and the right hand would usually go together. 1, 2. Is that making sense? And then on the F, and then we do it on the G. Okay, for this one, I just do a whole series of triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. Again, it's just a G sus4, and I'm playing triplets down the piano. And then I resolve it to a G, okay? I want to play this one slowly because the rhythm can trick up a lot of students. I want you to see how it goes with the left hand here to slow. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay? And of course, if you speed it up, that's where it starts to sound cool. So gradually work on increasing your speed. And finally, embellishment number 5. And for this one, instead of making a harder embellishment, I actually made it a little bit easier. So for all of you guys who watched all the way to the end of this video, this is a little treat for you. It's not gonna be quite as difficult. And then by the way, I wanna show you how to mix all of these embellishments at the end of the video. So make sure to watch all the way to the end if you really wanna see how it's put together. Okay, embellishment number 5, I'll play it for you. These are called roll-ups. Very beautiful sound. Here's how it goes. Oh, super pretty. This technique is similar to what a harp might play. If you listen to a harpist and they kind of roll up the chords, this is a very similar technique. And so for this one, we're basically taking our chords like C, we're gonna do the add 2, but we're gonna roll up into the chord from the bottom, okay? And the roll comes just before the note of the chord. So you're gonna come in before it and land on the G with the left hand. And then same thing with the G chord. We're gonna play our G, we're gonna do the add 2, okay? And then we're gonna come in early and then match it, okay? Same on the A minor add 2. And then on the F, I like to do this. It's an F add 2, okay? Making sense? Down to the C, there it is. We're gonna come up and then F add 2, beautiful, okay? And then the G sus4, there it is. And then the normal G, okay? Really beautiful. Nice work. What I want to do at the end here is I just want to show you how to mix these techniques because, you know, you can learn each of these techniques, but if you just keep playing the same thing over and over and over again, you know, it's going to get a little bit mundane, a little bit repetitive. You want to mix these up and you want to make it your own, okay? This is what makes every pianist unique is, hey, we all have the same, you know, 88 notes and major chords and minor chords, but it's how you mix these techniques together that gives you your own sound. And so I encourage you to mix and match these. I want to do a quick review of the technique, starting with the top. We have the slip notes. Okay, really nice. We have the lead and turns. Beautiful. Then we have that John Schmidt connector 8s. Okay, then we have, let's see, embellishment number 4, the magical triplets. Beautiful. And then finally we have those roll-ups, really nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through this tune and I'm going to use these various techniques and I'm going to show you kind of how I mix them together to create kind of my own sound. Hey friends, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment. I read all of the comments, and also what topic do you want me to cover next? Let me know in the comments. You might be the next person whose topic I pick, and also be sure to check out pianowithjohnny.com. We have the full online learning platform for all playing levels, and I'll see you in the next one.